Hi guys, Mike Reviews It All here. Big news in the UFC right now. Looks like Nate Diaz and Tyron Woodley might be set to fight at UFC 219. Nate Diaz is strength and conditioning coach. Put up a tweet on Instagram, or I guess a post on Instagram that said Nate was training for a fight, deleted it after about 45 minutes. Tyron Woodley immediately said that he will definitely fight at UFC 219 if Nate Diaz is the opponent. As everybody knows, UFC's been trying to book Nate Diaz all year, and Nate seemed to be holding out for the big payday. He wants the Conor McGregor fight, of course, the third fight. It looked like Tony Ferguson versus Conor McGregor was a likely fight at the end of the year, December 30th, and then the melee thing and Bellator with Conor jumping into the cage, finally kind of halfway apologizing here recently, and that fight's off. UFC says no, Conor's not going to fight on that card. They had never actually came to an agreement on a fight, but the fight I would be more interested in, honestly, is Tony Ferguson versus Nate Diaz. And I think that would be a very competitive fight. Nate Diaz has fought the majority of his career at 155. He's never been ranked above, I don't think he's ever been ranked in the top 5 at 170, even though he fought Conor at 170. You want to really save New Year's? I'm going to do you a favor here, UFC, if you can get these guys to agree to it. I'm going to do you a huge favor, and this is a $100 pay-per-view, and you guys listen up. I'm going to save New Year's. I'm going to make everyone's New Year's a lot greater. So shut your mouth, Dana, and listen up. This is what you need to do for that card. You're going to book a double main event. You're going to have Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson. Title fight, non-title fight, whatever, hopefully for the strap. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go over and you're going to pull Nick Diaz out. Pay a stupid fine, whatever he hasn't paid, a couple $100,000, and you get Nick Diaz versus Tyron Woodley. Nick Diaz dominated Paul Daly. The last time, you know, one of Tyron Woodley's last fights in Strikeforce was against Paul Daly. Very close fight. Nick Diaz dominated him. I think Nick matches up very well with Tyron. I don't know how much he's been training, but get to him right now. Are you kidding me, though? 2 Diaz brothers, New Year's Eve weekend, 2 title fights. You don't need Conor. I'd love to see Conor on New Year's, but man, I would love to see Nick and Nate fighting for titles on New Year's Eve. Can you imagine the promos? Tony Ferguson and Nate Diaz. I mean, there would be I think that's a lot better trash talking right there. They're closer in size. Nick's walking around at 170. Nate's obviously been training. He's looking to book a fight. I think he was probably hoping to fight Conor on the 30th, which would have made a lot of sense, unless they threw Ferguson in there. Money-wise, that's the fight that made sense. Of course, championship, division-wise and stuff, you know, Tony Ferguson has more than earned his shot. But Nate Diaz has arguably possibly won both fights against Conor McGregor. Of course, he won the first one. A lot of people would argue he won the second one. I thought it was very close. I wouldn't put too much blame on the judges calling that either way. But that's the card I want to see. UFC 219. I will plunk my $100 down. You guys tell me, would you plunk? What would you plunk down? 50, 100 bucks for that fight? I don't even care who's on the rest of the freaking card. You need to sell me 2 damn fights. I'll just drink beer the whole rest of the night. Put Nick Diaz versus Tyron Woodley, Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson, UFC 219, packed freaking house at my place. Pizza, beer. I would be super excited to see that. Make it happen, Dana. You made Conor versus Floyd Mayweather. Swallow your pride. Go grab Nick Diaz. Pay a stupid $400,000 fine to USADA. And book one of the greatest cards that we've seen in a really, really long time. Nick Diaz versus Tyron Woodley. Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson. UFC 219. New Year's Eve weekend. How good does that sound? How can you not do that? How can you not be excited about your New Year's Eve weekend? Beer, Nate Diaz, Nick Diaz, Tyron Woodley, Tony Ferguson, 2 championship fights. Come on. I want to stop repeating myself here. You guys tell me what you think down in the comments. And start blowing up Dana White's Twitter with this main event card. This is a $100 card. If Mayweather versus McGregor is a $100 card, this is definitely a $100 card. I'll send you my $100 right now. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. Please like and subscribe if you like what I do. Please give me your comments down below. Tell me, do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Are you excited about this? Are you excited about it, but you don't want to drop $50? I realize $50, even $50 is a lot for pay-per-view for me anymore, but I usually only get maybe 1 or 2 a year. This one I'd drop 100. I'm just letting the UFC know right now. I'm showing my hand. I'd drop 100. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm really interested to hear what you think. Everybody have a great week, and I will hit you up again soon.